Girl's tongue was stuck to the utility pole, seemingly impossible to detach. With a forceful tug, her tongue unexpectedly stretched half a meter. Frustrated, she brought out a fruit knife, gripping her tongue and attempting to cut it loose. To her surprise, the tongue was incredibly tough. Frustrated, she bent down and picked up a large axe from the ground, contemplating cutting off her tongue. However, she hesitated, but in comparison to her life, what was a little sacrifice? Steeling herself, she raised the axe, ready to strike. The next moment, she was pulled to the ground by a man. She quickly covered her mouth. Realizing her tongue was gone, she glanced up, and there it was still on the utility pole. He's the laziest dude on earth. He never opened his eyes while brushing his teeth. And even putting on pants requires a butt-assisted maneuver. Instead of walking up the stairs, he just slides down. He even waits for his neighbor to open the door. On his way to work, he rolls if it's rollable, slides if it's slidable. Once he rolls into the subway, he plops down and dozes off until his stop, where he rolls out like a champion. And when sliding gets tiresome, he takes a swig from a water bottle. After 10 days of epic sliding, he finally reaches his workplace. After swiping his card, he slides across the office floor, making a grand entrance at the water cooler. He orders a cup of coffee and gracefully glides into his seat. Despite his laziness, this dude rakes in cash faster than you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. He taps a few keys, and bam, he's got a 6-figure bank balance. Even his bathroom breaks are legendary. At the end of the day, he slides his way to the bar, wiggling on the floor like a funky penguin. He effortlessly captures the hearts of all the ladies around. Are you green with envy for this slippery sliding winner's life? A man absent-mindedly uses an earpick to clean his ear, inadvertently pushing it in too deep. Panic sets in as he tries to remove the earpick, gently gripping the handle. Ouch! It hurts, and he realizes he can't forcefully yank it out. He considers calling an ambulance, but as he reaches for his phone, it brushes against the earpick, causing excruciating pain. The man remembers an important task ahead, spotting the woman in the opposite building, and decides to hang up the phone. He leans closer to the sniper scope. The earpick burrows in deeper with each movement, making it impossible to aim properly. Suddenly, a knocking sound interrupts him. He hastily pulls the curtains shut, and the door swings open. The man quickly turns to the side, only to find his girlfriend standing there. They had plans for a date that evening, but to maintain appearances, he dismisses her. She punches him in the head. As he looks up, he notices that the earpick has slightly moved outward. Could it be because of that punch? In a desperate attempt, he chases after his girlfriend, begging her to hit him once more. She thinks he's crazy and quickly runs away. He came up with a bold plan to push it through and retrieve it from the other side. With gentle nudges, the earpick gradually delved deeper, nearly disappearing completely inside his ear. As he reached for the other side of his ear, he found nothing. Looking into the mirror, he saw the earpick had vanished, now residing entirely within his head. He bounced and jumped, attempting to shake it loose, but to no avail. Turning his attention to the sniper scope by the window, he spotted that woman applying makeup, seemingly preparing to leave. Time was of the essence to accomplish. The man realized that despite the earpick lodged in his head, he felt no discomfort. Perhaps it was best to leave it be. Bringing his glasses close to the scope, he gradually aimed the barrel towards the woman. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, the woman suddenly turned around, catching a glimpse of him, with a faint smile directed his way. The man jolted in fear and swiftly turned away. Through the mirror on the door, he discovered the earpick slowly sliding out from his own nostril. The woman continued to smile in his direction. Could her smile possess such enchanting power? The man lifts the pregnant woman's skirt, puts his head inside, accompanied by a cry. The baby is safely born. Tears well up in the man's eyes, but it's for the access card. It turns out this is the necessary routine for entering every day, because the two are secret agents. Every time they go to work, they must pass through 7 checkpoints. The first checkpoint, the two assume a posture of urination, looking at each other. A forceful push, and the door opens. The 4th checkpoint unexpectedly leads to the magical world. A gentle wave of the wand, and the walls gradually disappear. The 5th checkpoint is a phone call to one's own mother, and it must last at least 10 minutes. The 6th checkpoint is kissing a soldier, and it must be 3 times. Finally, the last checkpoint is actually delivering the baby for the pregnant woman. The room card for clearance is actually hidden in the baby's hand. Have you ever seen such a bizarre way to start the workday? Ever dreamed of having a job pays a staggering $10 million? Just like this woman? In a world where every object is a guise worn by humanity, an individual disguised as a clock with a salary of $1 million, another as a hanger earning $2 million, and yet another masquerading as a table with a salary of $4 million. This woman, earning a $10 million salary, not only bears the weight of her boss's demands, but also navigates the pressures from clients. Regardless of the duration, she must remain unwavering. Even when a client breaks wind, she must find it fragrant. concealing any hint of dissatisfaction. She dares not express any displeasure, even when utterly exhausted. When a client sneezes, she graciously offers a tissue, until one day, a female secretary barges into the boss's room, engaging in unspeakable acts on the sofa. The next moment, everything comes crashing down. Returning home, she finds a resignation letter from her boss. In her agony, only her parents are willing to shed their disguises and console her. The man writes in pain, having not relieved himself for 7 days. Lured into smuggling by a friend, he swallows 20 packets of drugs. However, caught by the police during a security check, he's taken to an interrogation room. Strangely, there's no trace of drugs on him. The police suspect he has hidden the drugs internally. X-rays reveal numerous small particles in his stomach, but it's uncertain if they're drugs. As soon as he uses the restroom, the truth will be laid bare. Faced with a 7-day detention, the police lock him up in a hotel room. All ventilation openings are sealed. A filter is placed in the toilet, and he is under 24-hour watch. The man understands that once he passes the drugs, he'll be arrested, yet the law permits only a 7-day detention. Thus, he decides to endure, holding in within those 7 days. How long can someone go without using the restroom? On a plane, when a woman craves a smoke, she promptly gets up and heads to the restroom. From her waist, she retrieves a sandwich concealing a nail file and a red card. Using the red card, she pries open the overhead circuit board, then unbuttons her shirt, revealing a circuit diagram inside. After a brief study, she uses the nail file to disable the smoke alarm system. The woman then sits on the toilet, taking out a lighter case from her thigh. From her shirt, she retrieves a lipstick. She removes her high heels, causing the lighter's core to fall out. Then she flattens the lipstick, fitting it into the lighter's core. Retrieving hidden lighter fluid from her neck, she adds it to the core. She assembles the core into the lighter casing, completing a makeshift lighter. Using tape from her waist, she seals the ventilation on the door. Finally, from her lower back, she pulls out a cigarette box, lighting a cigarette. Man raises his arm, unleashing a tidal wave, prompting the woman to scream in shock. With a swift turn, he power washes the table clean, dousing the delivery guy as he walks in. Just moments ago, during a date with his girlfriend, the man's armpits unexpectedly turned into a water zone. When handed the remote, he clutches it awkwardly. Then, tasked with holding a bag of chips, he exerts force, spilling half of it. The girlfriend, feeling his shoulders are too high, asks the man to hug her while watching TV. However, as soon as he lifts his arm, a powerful water jet shoots out, nearly knocking her out. Quick thinking, she pulls out a magical bottle from her bag, gives it a gentle spray under his arms, and miraculously stops the watery mayhem. However, when the man turns around, he realizes the room is now over a meter deep in water, ready for fish keeping. Do you recognize what advertisement this is? A laser beam hits the man's forehead, and smoke starts rising from his head. Suddenly, a burnt smell fills the air, and the man abruptly wakes up from a dream. At that moment, a woman approaches apologizing. Leaving the man confused, he quickly hides on the other side. But soon, misfortune strikes again. A bus breaks suddenly, and a beam of sunlight perfectly shines on the woman's smooth armpit. The sunlight refracts through the armpit, turning into a scorching laser, and beams onto the poor guy's head. Can you guess what commercial this is? The girl's about to make a call. Suddenly her phone vibrates, making her tumble to the phone. Why go for the 6-inch girlfriend? Easy to palm, easy to pocket. Take her with you wherever you go. Sneak her out in class for a chat. Use a textbook as a disguise, so the teacher stays clueless. Plus, it's budget friendly, small size, less food. One ice cream lasts all day. Sleeping is also simple. Fold a towel, shove it in a tissue box. It turns into a bed. She can roll around, but someone's gotta keep an eye out, or she might tumble off. She doesn't go to the toilet. Instead, she opts for the flower pot. Within days, lush green leaves burst forth. Do you want a girlfriend like this?